Hello everyone, this is Ashish. Welcome back to Talk 4712. And today I want to have a little fun discussion. When it comes to competitive examination or productivity or just general gyan, anyone can drop. But there are very few people who have a dream that I want to work in this particular company. In other words, has a dream job that person wants to pursue. Fewer pursues it, fewer lands, and even fewer leaves that after a certain amount of time. You might be, although have seen this happening quite frequently. A lot of people leave their dream jobs. Now, what really happens in the background? It is important for all the aspirants or candidates to know about that. Not defaming any company or any university or any organization, but the truth. I think the organizations would be benefited a lot as well, because now they will find people who really want to get in actually, because there's a very slight difference, a borderline difference between perceived dream and actual dream, or you think that you want to go towards that, but actually you have something else. So we are going to have a very chill kind of discussion, a friendly kind of discussion about what goes in the backgrounds and what you see in the foregrounds. Like, this particular person left Microsoft, left Google, left IOCL, dropped out from IIT, something like that. And you need to understand what really happened before you make your judgments. Now I'm going to talk all about it in 3 different phases. Number 1, the pursuit. Number 2, what happens when you actually work as an employee in your so-called dream job. To some, it will be actually a dream job, but this for just some, you're going to get it very soon. And why do they actually quit, and what after they quit? Now, I believe the problem really lies in the false propaganda. Now, any kind of dream job that you keep in your mind is most of the time guided by the society. And if it is guided by the society, majority of the time what is going to happen is your dream job is really what majority of the people of the surrounding is seeking. That is what becomes your dream job. Like, if people say that, okay, that particular job pays a lot and is very respectable, then that job is good, and now it becomes your dream job. Same happens with rankers. Like, okay, toppers are respected, so I want to hunt for being a topper. Not really bad thing to do, but being just led by the words of your surrounding and deciding that this is what you want to do and dedicating years of your time for that, maybe you want to rethink that. And the second one is that maybe it pays well. And a lot of times this also happens. Like, they're going to say that it's a package of 15 lakh. And when you actually join the job, you're finding out that, okay, so I should be getting more than 1 lakh every month. But in your hand, you're getting somewhere around 60,000 or so, because it is the package, right? So it is going to have all the medical and all. But that's what you had in your brain when you're trying to target it, right? Okay, every month 1 lakh rupees in my bank account. What am I going to do with it? A lot of things. Now, if you don't have that, then it is perfectly fine. What I generally say is that think about what is the kind of life that you're going to live 9 to 5. So dream or not, job remains a job, and job is going to have some demands of what you're going to do 5 days a week, 9 to 5 every day at least. So think about that 1/3 of your life. What you're going to do? Are you going to enjoy that? Or are you only going to enjoy the salary that comes once a month? Now, this is not about what you should be doing. Kind of is, but it is mainly about why it happened. So a lot of people thinks about things in this manner. A lot of them even goes through interviews of mainly people who just got a job. Generally not people who have been doing that job for, let us say, 5 years or 10 years. Now, when you think about, like, I want to get a dream job, what do you think about it? Do you think that I'm going to join it and leave it in 1 year? Most of the people think about it like, I'm going to be over there, establish myself, learn a lot over there, and grow in the field that I've chosen. But that does not happen a lot of time. A lot of time when they join it, people who successfully crack it and join it, what happens is that now they have found that this is really not what I aimed for. That is what happens 99% of the time. Oh, I thought it was something completely different, but now this is not what I like. Now, I'll tell you why the media and propaganda is able to sell you these dreams, because you want to buy it. You really want to buy it. You want to buy the whole idea of a heaven, like a place where everything is perfect. And it's not only you, brother or sister, it's me as well. I wanted that kind of life. I wanted there to be a solution to all my problems. And I wanted to live a life where I just have fun all the time. Now, this is how it works. When you want to establish an aim or a dream job, most of the time what happens is that you already are just having the selection of good things about that. That means that you are already having a preconceived notion. Let us say my target is IIT Bombay. So you're only going to collect the good things about IIT Bombay, not the bad things, not the people who went over there and could not pursue what you want, no matter how low the percentage of success is as well, by the way. Now, this is in general how humans work. We are optimistic people. Now, if you're not optimistic or you do not think a particular step is going to work out, you're not going to move anywhere. You're just going to stay where you are, in which case you might as well grow roots because you're not human anymore. But some of it is good. Optimism is very important, but also not false optimism, like you are trying to brainwash yourself. So you have to look at it logically. First, understand that there will be negatives everywhere. And if it is too good to be true, it ain't. That's one thing that you should always keep in your mind. Nothing is perfect. Definitely not a job. The job is never going to be perfect. Even startup is not perfect. Entrepreneurship, not perfect. Consulting, not perfect. Nothing is 100% perfect. About that, maybe we can talk some other day. But this first phase is important, and you might have already started to understand why so many people quit their dream job. The second thing is already clear to you, that ultimately it is a job. So there will be some obligations. These obligations, you don't really think about it. I'll give you an example. For example, you love books, you love editing, you love the language of English, you want to become a book editor. But if you look at, let us say, book editors who have worked in the top 5 books, let us say Penguin and all, and you talk to them, what they are going to say is that, yeah, that is a part of my job, but there's a whole bunch of things that I have to do as well, which is just paperwork, and that I don't really like. And did you really think about these things when you were aiming for that? Now, if you start thinking about these negatives and think about there should be no negative, then you are not going to aim for anything, which is bad as well. Don't get me wrong where I'm getting. Dream job is great. Everyone should have it. And I believe that if your father is not millionaire, then job is the first step, no matter what. It might even be a last step. Depends on you. But it is definitely a first step and everyone should pursue it. I did it. No regrets. I later found out there's a lot of truth that I was not aware of, but even if I was aware of, I would have done that because I looked at the 8 hours, whether I like it or not, and I did. So you should think about it like that. And that's when the wheel starts rolling towards the whole monotonous thing, because now the further you go, the more the things that you like, it reduces, and the things that you don't like, it starts increasing and piling up. Sorry about that, a little bit of electricity disconnect. All right, coming back to the point. Now let's face this part, like what happens after 2 years. Now after 2 years, you have started getting a lot of responsibilities. So the initial part is all training, you're learning, you're growing. The growth is exponential. And after 1 year or 2 years, it is time for the organization to get things back. Makes sense also that that particular organization or corporation is training you so that ultimately they gain more out of it than you. That is always going to be the case for any job. Anyone who is paying you even $1 is going to earn at least $2 out of you. That's how it works. If tomorrow you are starting a company, that's what you would expect. Otherwise, it will just crash in 2 days. Okay, so this whole cycle continues after 2 years or so. And that's when you start looking for alternatives. And at that point also, a lot of people just want to believe that this might change their life. For example, after being bored from a particular job, they think, okay, I'll do MBA and life will change, or I'll do MS and life will change, or I'll start a company and life will change. I'll start preparing for civil services and life will change. But then you're looking at the same thing that you saw 2 years ago before you got in over here. Even the fraction of people who really reach this phase is very low. but still this is what they ultimately face. That's when they quit their job. And a lot of people start something on their own. But see, even if that person quitted his or her job and started something on their own, then their life is still better. That thing really does happen. A lot of times you'll see that people are earning 5 times, 6 times the amount of money they were earning when they're working over there. And that is also a big motivation, because after some time you've gotten experience, you've gotten the tag. So they know that now I can get a job at any time. And how about I try it on my own, because they know the thing that I just discussed, that you are never going to be paid exactly what you're worth. So when you're leaving a company, now if you're having the clients on your own, then the client's money directly come to you. And this happens a lot in big companies. Like you're dealing with clients, and over 2 to 3 years, or sometimes even longer, let us say 10 years, you develop a very good network, and then you start something on your own. Very common, happens almost in every domain. You can see it even happening in coaching institutes. Like teachers have been teaching in a particular coaching institute for 5 to 6 years. They left it and started their own. So the life is progressive. So don't think that people who left their job, their life is depreciating in any, or they wasted the whole time. Their life is going to increase only. This is the reality that you might not be knowing. That quality of living is increasing continuously. So once you leave the job, something stays, and that is your tag or your experience. Nobody is going to be able to take that away from you. So I still remember I was once in an MMA gym, and there was a guy who did not know who I was. And then we just started talking. I asked what he does. He asked what I do. And I explained like I used to work in these research organizations. And he said, "That's great. You're a scientist." I said that not anymore, actually. I left that job. And what he said made a lot of sense. He said that, yeah, it is good to reach Mount Everest peak, but you're not going to stay over there. Obviously, you're going to move. Once you reach it, you've proved it already. So that tag is going to remain with you. And that brings a lot of times clients. And you are going to continue to do well in your life. And after that, for example, in my case, it brings me sponsors, because there's a certain amount of credibility over here. You guys listen to me because I have placed my position. Like I have been attested, and that sometimes sadly, sometimes gladly is true. Like you are going to require certain kind of attestment. Not necessarily always in the terms of brands or colleges, but experience. Like even if, let us say, you're just senior secondary pass and you have not done any other education, a guest of the podcast is of the similar background. You're going to find out very soon, is an amazing personality. But let us say you have worked with certain amount of people and you have shown growth and you have shown your capabilities, then that creates your value. I hope that I was able to make my points clear, and I want the comment section to be open for discussion. Bring your points, maybe just pinpoint the particular timestamp which you're referring to, and I reply to all the comments. I want it to be open discussion. Maybe we can have next parts as well. I'll see all of you in the next one. Till then, bye.